Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining us today as we continue our Tiger Connect Tuesdays. Our Tiger Connect Tuesdays are our parent and community training series that we have here on Tuesdays, 12 o'clock p.m. via Zoom live, and then again at 6 o'clock p.m. on our YouTube post. We ask that you join us, parents, each week so that you can be in the know about all of the topics that we have here to discuss with you here at Hattiesburg Public School District. Today, we will be doing a series on our Literacy-Based Promotion Act, which is also considered to be or known as our third grade GATE. I am Hope Michael, Director of Curriculum Instruction, Pre-K through 5, and also Ms. Malenka McNair will be joining us. She is our Literacy Coordinator. We always like to start with our mission and vision. It is the mission of Hattiesburg Public School District to educate all students to become productive citizens of a dynamic global community. Our vision is that we are a model and teaching learning community that graduates productive and caring citizens who are prepared to succeed. All right, our four goals, we have four goals in the district. Academic success, we want all students to be proficient and are showing growth in all academic areas. Community support and engagement, we're gonna foster community partnerships that support student achievement and school success. And then safe and orderly schools, we wanna maintain a positive learning environment, and then physical accountability, maintain sound physical practices. All right, our agenda. We're going to again talk about our Literacy-Based Promotion Act, which is also known as our third grade GATE. We're going to give you information on our K-3 universal screeners and our diagnostic assessments that we use here in the district. And we're going to also talk about our MAP, our state assessment, ELA, grade 3, and then we're going to give you some MDE updates. And then we're going to leave some tips for parents and families that can help our third grade students. All right, what is the purpose of the Literacy-Based Promotion Act? Basically, the Literacy-Based Promotion Act is to improve the reading skills of our kindergarten through third grade students, making sure that all students upon entering third grade reads at or above grade level. We is required that all kindergarten students be assessed with our kindergarten readiness assessment. So you should be getting information about our kindergarten assessment. We do this at the beginning of the year and then at the end of the year to determine students' readiness and growth for the next school year. Actually, we start in pre-K giving assessments to make sure that our pre-K students are ready for kindergarten as they enter into kindergarten. So again, this is our state assessment that we give our kindergarten readiness to make sure that students are on track to read above, on or above grade level by third grade. And then all of our K-3 students are required to take our universal screener. We give this at the beginning of the year, middle of the year, and the end of the year to determine the progress with reading. Again, the schools that your babies attend should give you this information on testing dates or when we're giving our testing beginning, middle, and end of the year. All right, our universal screeners that we use in our diagnostic assessments, you should have received reports about Start Early Literacy. That is a Renaissance test that we give. It's computer adapted, which means that it progresses as the questions get a little harder. As the students are doing good or progressing on the questions, they do get a little harder. It's designed to measure students' early literacy and early numeracy skills. That means that students are on track for our literacy and they're recognizing numbers and any of those assessments that come with that math portion of that. We also use READY. We are a READY district. We use the READY diagnostic assessment for grades K through third grade. When we're looking at that, it is also an adaptive assessment. That means that as the students get the questions or the problems correct, it kind of advances to the next level. It provides teachers with a complete picture of students' performance, where they are, and if they're growing. Our diagnostic results are set, a personalized path is set. If you're familiar with anything about iReady, that's exactly what it is. Students are given a path to where they are assessed. They're able to do assessments and assignments according to how they perform on their diagnostics. So that's why schools kind of encourage our students to do their best, because that path will help them to either grow or advance them as they're working on that path. All right, and our universal screenings and diagnostics again continue. It does provide an in-depth picture of the students' strengths and their needs for tier 2. If any students are needed to go on to the next instructional level, which is tier 2, which means that they are given a little bit more instruction, or that tier 3 intensive intervention. So according to the diagnostics, it determines if students need any more one-on-one assistance with their classrooms, any more instruction that's tailored to their needs. Any K through third grade students who was identified through the universal screeners and our diagnostic assessments, and they score below grade level, will be targeted for what we call intervention support and interventions. Your school should have contacted you, or they will contact you if your student or your child falls in any of those areas, and they'll discuss what we call an IRP, or an intensive reading plan for your student. It is individualized for your students to make sure that they are working on the deficit areas or any skills that they need to be successful by the end of third grade. All right. Parent notification. Again, if your child has been identified to needing any assistance or a deficit in reading, the teacher should immediately contact you. You should get progress reports. You should get a letter or a phone call notifying you of the plan. You should come in, meet with your school, sign off that your child is receiving those intensive interventions, and they're going to give you some support and some information on how you can support your child at home during this time.
The Literacy-Based Promotion Act, a third grade GATE, came out back in 2015 and 16, but during the 2018-19 school year, third graders were required to score at a level three or higher on the MAP assessment in the English language arts part of that assessment. The Literacy-Based Promotion Act was designed to help ensure that every student meets grade level reading standards by the end of third grade. If students are having those difficulties in reading, then interventions again are put in place to assist with that. We also, make sure that retention is the last option for that student. That's why we have those tier 2 and tier 3 interventions that are put in place to address those deficit areas. A third grade student who fails to meet those requirements to be promoted to fourth grade, they may be promoted through the Good Cause Exemption Act. However, students have to qualify for one of the 5 categories to meet Good Cause exemption. But for this year, due to COVID-19, the Literacy-Based Promotion Act is a little bit different. The State Board of Education voted to suspend 3 of the statewide policies regarding accountability and assessments to assist with the impact of COVID-19 just for this school year. So as far as third graders, our third graders will take the third grade reading language arts assessment. However, they are not required to meet a passing score on the assessment to be promoted to fourth grade. But students will have to meet all other district requirements for promotion. So when looking at our district retention and promotion policy, this particular policy, the one we're going to talk about today, is for our pre-K through 5th grade, and it addresses all of 5 of our elementary schools. So students who fail math or reading language arts may be retained. However, if students fail both reading and math language arts, they will be retained. So any of the decisions for promotion or retention is based upon the school and the district. However, there is a comprehensive review of each child's specific performance where we look at their how they performed on their curriculum materials, how they performed on their assessments, and all other important factors to determine if retention is needed for that student. But once again, all of those decisions, those final decisions, are left up to the school and the district. Parents, you are encouraged to, attend those consultations meetings if they call, to set up a meeting to discuss retention, so that we can figure out and decide what's the best for that student. So why is reading important by the end of third grade? Reading by the end of third grade is a critical milestone in your child's education. Reading also affects all other subjects, 4th grade and beyond. So it's very important that they are reading by the end of third grade. Students who cannot read by the end of third grade, they tend to have a hard time catching up in later grades, and it tends to have a larger deficit area for them to try to address. Research states that 9 out of 10 high school dropouts were struggling readers in third grade. So now we'll talk about some tips for parents and families. So parents, you are valued as our partners. So it's very important that you partner with your child's teacher. Make sure that you are communicating regularly with the teachers to know how your child is progressing in reading. I always ask those questions such as, how can I support at home? And if there are any concerns, be sure to address those concerns as soon as possible. Making sure that you are utilizing those reading strategies, those at-home reading strategies that are shared by the teacher in the school to help increase the reading performance. Make a note of those important dates. So when they're having parent nights, when they are requesting parent conferences, when progress reports or report cards are coming home, as well as when they are taking those important assessments. Make sure that you are making note of those dates to ensure that you are up to par on the things that are taking place with your student. And one of the most important factors as having you as partner is making sure that your child is present and on time for school each day. Not only is it important for you to partner with your child's teacher, but it's also important for you to communicate with your child. That two-way communication is one of the best ways to support your child in their education. It helps to develop those positive speaking and learning skills. It also informs you of what your child is learning at school. Not only that, but it also gives you insight on how your child thinks and feels about school. Parents, it's also important that you show that reading is valued in your home. Make sure that you are reading to your child, having your child read to you, or maybe even just reading together. Try to require that your child read at least 20 minutes daily at home, and start to create a family home library. You can visit yard sales, trade bookstores, or even visit libraries to help create that home library. But one important thing is to make sure that you are exposing your children to different types of reading material. I know sometimes students tend to not like to read. However, we found that if you allow them to pick and choose things that interest them, they would be more interested in reading that material. Okay, this is our parent read at home plan. I know we spoke previously about if a child has a deficit in reading and the child has to have an individual reading plan. This is a parent read at home plan that you should receive from your child's school or their teacher. The read at home plan was created to assist parents with understanding how to support your child's reading development and progress by using materials that are found around your home. It comes in an English version as well as a Spanish version. It contains strategies that will allow students to practice the skills necessary to help become fluent readers. Now, the Parent Read at Home plan addresses the 5 components of reading. You have phonemic awareness, phonics, and fluency that deals with identifying words accurately as well as fluently. It also addresses vocabulary and comprehension, and this is where the students begin to construct meaning once those words are identified. So this is the Parent Read at Home plan. It's a very good resource for you to utilize at home when assisting your student or your child with their reading deficits. And here are a few key takeaways from my presentation today. Just remember, as a parent, you will always be your child's first teacher. Always maintain open communication with your child's teachers and try the activities and suggestions that are provided for you to assist at home. Always ask questions. Make sure that you are involved and attend those schools functions when it's possible for you. And here are some of the resources that the information that we shared today was generated from. We have our Mississippi Department of Education's website. We have a family guide to student success. It also gives strategies and resources to use at home and to assist with those areas of reading. Of course, the Parent Read at Home plan, and also the website Strong Readers, Strong Leaders in Mississippi. This website actually breaks down each individual grade level, and it helps you to understand what your child should be learning for that particular grade level, as well as you can look at a grade level beyond your students' current grade level to see what they will be facing for the upcoming school years. And this concludes our presentation, but for more information, please contact Ms. Hope Michael. She's the Director of Pre-K through 5. This is her email, hope.michael@hattiesburgpsd.com. Are there any questions? Okay, parents, once again, thank you for joining us for our noon edition of Tiger Connect. Please join us again at 6 o'clock for our next edition. Thank you.